Which iPhone has the best battery life? We have been testing all the latest iPhones over the past 2 weeks, double and triple checking the results, and now it's time to unveil the results. Hello Internet, Vic here, and it's time to test battery life the Phone Arena way. We will be doing 3 separate tests. First we will be testing browsing, then we will be playing YouTube videos, and next we'll do some 3D gaming. At the end, we'll have a separate score for each of those categories, and we'll look at the total score for each phone to see who is the winner and what are the differences. Laying on the table, we have the 7 iPhones that we will be testing today, ordered from the oldest to the newest ones. And you can see how Apple has gradually increased battery sizes, and the iPhone 11 series finally have beefy batteries that should give them a noticeable advantage. For the browsing test, we have a set of web pages that are refreshing at the same pace on all the phones, and the phones are also running a script that scrolls the pages up and down to simulate the way you use the phone in real life. Since running this test takes a very long time, we will show you what the test looks like and the actual results, but we won't guide you through the full test in real time. We should also tell you an important detail. Before we start this test, we set the brightness on the screen at the same level, using specialized equipment. We set the brightness at 200 nits, a level that is about the average for comfortable indoor use. This is hugely important because screen brightness is one of the biggest factors for battery life, and having different actual brightness on devices could affect their battery life significantly. And 7 hours and 49 minutes into the test, the first iPhone to die is the iPhone XS. It has the smallest battery among all, and it shows here. We need to wait 40 minutes more until the next phone dies, and that is the iPhone XS Max, which finishes with a score of 8 hours and 32 minutes. Soon after, the iPhone 11 Pro has its battery depleted as well at 8 hours and 41 minutes. The rest of the phones still have some juice left, and we need to wait for an additional hour or so until the next one dies, and that is the oldest iPhone, the iPhone 8 Plus, with a score of nearly 10 hours. The rest of the iPhones all reach the 11-hour mark. The iPhone XR dies at 11 hours and 8 minutes, and that was not a surprise. The XR was advertised as the iPhone with longest lasting battery last year. Soon after it comes the newer iPhone 11, which finishes the test with a score of 11 hours and 25 minutes. The last phone that still keeps on going here is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. It has a beefy battery of nearly 4000 mAh, the largest ever on an iPhone, and it manages to score an impressive 12 hours and 53 minutes on our browsing tests and win it with a big advantage. Notice that battery testing is a notoriously hard thing, and it's practically impossible to get perfect results down to the minute. And that is why we are running tests a couple of times, and there might be small differences between runs that we usually approximate. Next up, we line up the iPhones for probably the most important test: YouTube video playback. YouTube is probably my most used application, and we're sure it's the same for many of you. So this test will give you a very good idea about how long your phone will last for YouTube playback. Again, we'll fast forward the sequence and only show you the final results, since this test takes so long and we run it at least a couple of times to ensure the results are correct. And the first phone to die in this test is again the iPhone XS. The XS scores just 4 hours and 52 minutes of YouTube video playback, a really disappointing result. Not long after, the iPhone 8 Plus bites the dust at 5 hours and 23 minutes, and just 2 minutes after it, the iPhone XS Max goes down. The iPhone XR, which lasted quite a while for browsing, dies much quicker when you watch videos on it, and it is next in line with a score of 5 hours and 50 minutes. All the other iPhones in this test keep on going for quite a while. The new iPhone 11 Pro does much better than its predecessor, the XS, with a final result of 6 hours and 27 minutes. The iPhone 11 goes the extra mile and finishes with a result of 7 hours and 13 minutes. Finally, the only phone that is still going strong here is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. It lasts nearly 9 hours, an absolute record holder amongst iPhones. Congratulations to Apple for hugely improving YouTube video playback, which was iPhone's weak side for years, and now it's at least decent on its newest devices. Third, we look at 3D gaming. This test will show you the average time you should expect your phone to last when you're playing games like Fortnite, Asphalt, Call of Duty, Minecraft or the like. These are some of the most popular games out there and they take the phones to their maximum performance, using both the CPU and the GPU, so you can see those beautiful graphics. This is the most intense of our tests, but it still takes at least a few hours, so the video you're seeing here is a simulation and not the actual test. We have run the actual test a couple of times to ensure the results are correct and consistent. The first phone that dies on this test is the iPhone 8 Plus, which lasts just 3 hours and 29 minutes, which basically means that an hour of gaming drains nearly 30% of your battery. Next, the iPhone XS, the iPhone XS Max, and the iPhone 11 all die at about the same time, with just 3 hours and 38 minutes on the clock. The iPhone 11 Pro is next in line with a score of 3 hours and 48 minutes. Wait a few more minutes and the iPhone XR also bites the dust at 4 hours and 5 minutes. At this point in time, only the iPhone 11 Pro Max remains and it lasts quite a bit more than the rest and finishes the test with a score of 5 hours and 15 minutes. iPhones consistently score highest in terms of graphics performance, and we have noticed that games look usually better on them, with more detail, but this also takes a toll on battery life, and compared to many Android phones, the iPhones lack battery endurance for gaming. I guess that's why so many people still carry power banks with them. With all three tests done, let's take a look at the overall scores. First, we have the browsing test result. Second, the YouTube video playback test. And third, the 3D gaming test.